All right, assholeconsulting.com. How you kids doing? We got one I really don't have the answer to. I got my thoughts, but I'll be honest, this is a hard one because, well, basically what his parents did for him was good parents. And, do you owe something to your parents when they do a darn good job? But then there's a risk involved because now you're bringing in other people. And even though these other people are family members, blood is not thicker than water. And you know what? Everybody has fuck ups. Every family has fuck ups. And so it kind of goes against a principle. We'll keep him anonymous. He's a young man. He's an immigrant, legal. He makes $17 an hour. It has some savings, has a little bit in student loans. He's going to be starting another job. Finishing a good degree, just finishing off his associates online. Very good. Lives in a place, doesn't matter where he lives. Currently live with his parents, plan to move out next year. Problem, 2 older brothers, and his parents are in their 70s. So I was like, dang, your parents had you pretty late. Okay, so his parents are older immigrants. You got 2 older brothers. Parents qualify for a no money down mortgage. Great. Just great. Parents can't afford rent by themselves. Why the fuck did they have kids? Look, I'm going to explain it to you and everybody else who comes here as immigrants. Okay? And to the Native American population. I don't mean the American Indians. I mean people born here. Don't have kids if you can't afford rent. I know this isn't your request, but this is more important than your request. You understand why poverty exists. The number one cause of poverty is having fucking kids you can't afford. Okay? Your parents can't afford rent, but they had 3 kids at least. I don't know if you have any other siblings. And you all think coming here to the United States is going to solve it. As if once you cross this line, this magic dirt, you all believe in magic dirt theory. Well, on this side of that imaginary line on the border, that's poverty and plague and pestilence. But step here, I'm in America and everything just works out. Parents can't afford rent by themselves. What the fuck? Well, at least they are American boomers in that regard. They didn't save up enough money for retirement now, did they? I mean, just end the poverty, okay? We all can do it. All the guys get vasectomies. You make a deposit at the sperm bank, and you just make sure you don't get girls pregnant. Because the fuck if women are going to take responsibility and not have illegitimate kids? If they get the government, give me that, so they just, I want a baby. In vitro fertilization, you know that the number one largest growth, the word's getting out. Teenage pregnancies are all-time lows. The young kids are getting this. You know where the ones that it's the women who can't find a guy or getting in vitro fertilization 30 and up. I wonder what's going to happen to their income per capita. It's not hard. You can still have sex. You still don't have to use a condom. Please just drop the fucking $1,200 on a vasectomy to make sure you don't have to pay $200,000 out for the rest of your life. 2 older brothers live in different states and have their own place and want me and my little brother. Okay, so there's 4. They had 4 fucking kids to purchase the home with my parents and pay the mortgage with them until my parents go back to their home country. Okay, I guess the parents, maybe they like it back there. After that, the home will be mine and my little brother's. My concern is I don't want to be stuck at a place or regret staying with them later. I want to be my own man and maybe get married soon with my own family. I feel like they're pushing me to do this. I could take care of our parents. I feel like so I could take care of parents while they're enjoying the freedom elsewhere. Okay. There's another reason I'm going to be advising against this. Questions. What should I do, Aaron? Well, let me ask you this. What's preventing your parents from going back to the home country now? And I presume when they go home, are they gonna have lodging taken care of there? It's got to be cheaper, I'd imagine, back in the home country. In other words, why are you making this huge investment in an asset that your parents might use a little bit because they're inevitably moving back home? I feel like they're pushing me into this. I could take care of our parents while they're enjoying their freedom somewhere else. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Maybe not maliciously, but I think they haven't thought this through. No one's thought this through. Having owned rental property myself, all right, even if you live on the property, it's a pain in the ass to maintain. And your brother's out of state. Yeah, you're darn right. You're going to take care of it because you're there. I presume your little brother lives with you. God, how old were they when they had your little brother? You guys are going to be stuck taking care of that property. And your brothers probably are not going to quit their jobs and come live there and take care of the property. They're also not going to be, they're going to be reluctant to give you money to take care of it. Then your parents are going to move out a year or two. And then you and your brother, you may not want to live in this state that you're in right now. You may not want to live in the house. Now you have 4 fucking shareholders of equal ownership in this house. They're going to bitch and whine and moan. There's no majority owner. This is fuck it. It's my home because I own 51%. This is a fucking nightmare. This is wrong. Not ethically wrong. It's just a bad idea. Because I don't think all 4 of you guys want this property. So what you should do is say no. And here are the reasons why. They're not going to be here forever. Why? If we want to help out our parents, why don't you help out around the home? Your younger brother goes get some groceries. Your other brother toss him a couple bucks. And you all get motherfucking vasectomies. So you don't make the mistake of your parents having more kids before, so that 30 or 40 years from now, you're not facing this, oh, I need my kids' money to support me. I mean, so here's the logical, non-emotional, non-familial reasons why. Your parents aren't going to be there long. They're going back. Say, why are we going to pay closing costs? The money alone you save with the closing costs is enough to make sure that will help your parents off when they go back to the home country. So that's one thing. The maintenance costs, no. The managerial costs, no. And I mean that by your brothers being out of state. Who's going to manage the property? You're just getting started in your career. You and your younger brother may not want to live there. And there's no clear ownership of the property. It's split 4 ways, equal shares. So it's all going to be a headache. Who keeps it? Who doesn't? This is going to ruin your family. And here, I'm very confident in this now. You saying, no, I'm not doing it, may upset some people. It may upset and ruffle some feathers. And you should provide your logical arguments, the one I just provided you there. You say, I'm not doing this. And you don't want to do this. And the reason why is for whatever ruffled feathers this may cause now, whatever insult or bad blood this may put between you and your family, it's going to be a lot worse when it's you and your brothers owning this property and your parents leave, and now you're all at each other's throats because somebody wants to sell, somebody doesn't want to sell. Why aren't you coming in? This is like a woman getting in between you and some of your best friends. You absolutely say, no, I'm not. Now, this is where I have my ethical moral quandary. Your parents, even though they had more kids than they could afford, your parents did 2 amazing things that no American parents apparently do nowadays. Well, one thing American parents never do, and another thing that immigrant parents did. Your immigrant parents did get you here, and I'm going to presume from a shithole country where there wasn't a lot of opportunity for you to come here and get some skills. Okay, so you can have access to a better life. Do not do them the great disservice of fucking up your life having more kids than you can afford. Okay? Just do that. So that's one thing. Your parents did that. The thing that they did that most American parents didn't do is they stayed the fuck married. They raised you in a nuclear family. And it's kind of evidenced and shown. Your other brothers are reasonably successful, I suppose. They're out of state. They have their own careers. They have their own places. You're in IT. You don't have any debts, do you? Yeah. You got a lot in savings, more than the student loans. You got a job. I mean, you're in way better shape than your average American kid. So, they did help you. So I think you owe them a little bit. Not a lot. Again, in the United States, it's probably different from your culture, but at least in the United States, American parents, Americans in the past, they say the government's going to take care of us old people, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, which gives young people like, fuck no, I don't owe you shit. And given the poor upbringing most kids receive from their American parents, go to college at any expense, and all that other crap, your average American doesn't owe their parents anything. I think you owe your parents a little bit. Yes, they shouldn't have had as many kids. They should be able to afford their own rent. But I think you owe them a little bit. You can't help them now because you're still in school. You're not making that much money. But down the road, I think you should toss them some money. Say, look, Mom, Dad, when I get, God almighty, no money down mortgage. There's another fucking risk I hadn't thought of. Just an aside. Did you read through the mortgage? It's probably got 2 different mortgages. And what are the interest rates? And do they reset? Are they ARMs? That could be a horrible financial decision. You got to look at the terms of that mortgage. Because if your parents can't even afford rent, well, who the fuck is lending them money and on what terms? It's probably an egregious rate of interest. So everybody's got to go look at that mortgage. If you want, I'll go hire my buddy Mary Jo. She's an expert in mortgages. She'll let you know. I mean, it's going to cost you money, but God damn it, it'll cost you a hell of a lot more if you go sign up for a mortgage with 12% interest. Then you guys are fucked. But what was I talking about? Oh, once you get established, once you get set, maybe you throw some money back to your folks to help them out in the home country. Because they were married. Your dad must have talked some sense into you about finances, because I don't know any 26-year-old kid, immigrant or not, that has 30 grand saved up. You're in IT. You're going online. It's obvious. If anything, you owe your dad a little bit. But right now you can't. You don't even have a job. Well, you got a job. You don't have an IT job. They'll say, I'll help you out, but this is an incredibly expensive, inefficient, potentially life-destroying way to help them out. The realtor's fees are going to be 7%. What if we just gave Mom and Dad that money? Look at that. Whatever the house costs, multiply it by 3.5%. That's going to be your realtor fee. Then there's property taxes, maintenance, and I want to know what the mortgage interest rate is. You're gonna have 2. One's a 20% downer, and you're gonna have to pay mortgage insurance. I don't think anybody looked at that mortgage. Did anyone look at the mortgage and what's gonna cost? That might be another thing. Hey, wait, what does this mortgage cost? Holy shit, are we all 6 of us, the 4 brothers and our parents, are all getting fucked in the ass by the mortgage company? Holy shit, I'm glad the young one hired out Asshole Consulting to point that out. Thank you, Asshole Consulting. So I absolutely would not go with it for all these reasons. And then offer to help your parents with money directly. Say, there's no reason for us to buy them this house if they're only going to be here 2 more years and go back to the home country. If you want, let's throw them a couple $100 a month, where dollars will go a lot further. It's a good idea to go through with their plan. No, it is a horrible idea. This isn't for everyone involved. Are they being selfish, or am I being selfish? I don't think anyone's really being selfish. I don't think so. Your parents are dumb having more kids they can afford. I don't know if I've emphasized that enough. Having kids you can't afford so that you don't have any money saved up for retirement, that you need to rely on your kids, you can't afford rent. That's dumb. That's not an opinion. That's math. You're not being selfish. Your instincts are correct. The sirens and the alarm bells going off is correct. This is not good for anybody. And it could destroy the family. A much more efficient way. Just keep renting where you are now. Your parents and your brother and you. And then your parents, they move back home. And then you guys send them a couple $100 each. All right, which is going to go a lot further in terms of living expenses and costs than buying some fucking house in the United States that needs to be managed and maintained. No. What state would you recommend a young man move to? Well, my goodness, young sir, if I only had there we go. There's this book called Reconnaissance Man. This is a great book for you to read, because I can't tell you where to move. I got some lists. I got a recommendation list there. Fucking books. Get a bookshelf. It depends. Really depends, because I know, for example, I love Vegas and the American Southwest and the West in general. You may hate it. You may not like it. You might like snow and skiing, and you may hate scorpions and deserts. So it's really up to you. Is the state of Georgia a good option? It's all right. It's humid. Atlanta traffic is horrible. But that's what Reconnaissance Man, that book is. Definitely go get that book and read it. But what you need to do, because the United States is such a big country, you got to go to these places. You have to go on a big ass road trip. And a lot of your 20s would be spent, trying different, I'm going to go work in Dallas. What's that like? But there's some no-go zones where you just avoid them. New York, California, visit, that's fine. But some states have no income taxes. Some states not only have an income tax, but they also have a local income tax, Ohio being one of them. I think Kentucky as well. So go get that book, but go to Georgia. I know it costs money, but you got some money, dude. You got 30 grand. I'd spend at least $5,000 of that checking out every different city, major, and not everyone, the ones listed in that book, and figure out where you want to go. You say, well, boy, that's $5,000 just to have fun. You're not having fun when you do reconnaissance. You're going out and investigating different towns. Generally, people on the east side of the country, on that side of the Mississippi, they tend to go north into Florida. Florida is the pole, the draw. And I like Florida. Florida's fine. You may not like Florida. But I would invest the time and money checking out different places. You're old enough, you can rent a car. Car rentals are cheap, man. You're going to school online. You're the ideal candidate. You got your security guard job. You might have to take a week or two off from that. But yeah, man, I check out places. I check out Vegas. I check out Denver. Vegas is a little warm during summer. I check out Phoenix, Dallas. While you're over there, maybe spend your time instead, just go down to Florida. Tennessee is nice. No state income taxes in Tennessee. I like Knoxville. But you may not like Knoxville. You say, I can't stand, I'm trying to think what Knoxville has. I can't stand the country music. Well, okay, don't go to Knoxville. How do I plan to move to a new state? The trick is you make sure you don't own a lot of shit. You have a good, reliable car. Without a car payment, you don't buy a new car. You get a good used one that you pay cash for. You go and apply for jobs. You find a job out there. Or in your case, you could be working online, which then you don't have to find a place. You just drive across the country. I got a buddy who lives in a van. He does programming. He just drives around the country. He doesn't have a house. You can leave your stuff with your mom and dad, but you get as little stuff as possible. All you need, laptop, underwear, socks, deodorant, toothbrush, and dental floss, maybe some goop for your hair. And then you go and you find a small, cheap place month to month because you don't know if your roommates or that neighborhood or that apartment's going to be all fucked up. And you're like, I like this place. I like my apartment. I got a job here. I'm going to stay here for a year. Then you go year-to-year lease. If you find out the neighbors are smoking pot, making too much noise, crime-ridden, the job fell through because the world is out to fuck you over, my fine young sir. It is out to fuck you over. So you only go rent month to month. Say, fuck this shit. I'm out of here. You lied about the job. This apartment has rats, and I'm going to go to try Tampa. Or I'm going to try St. Petersburg, or I'm going to try Mobile, Alabama, or I'm going to try Nashville, Tennessee. You keep going place to place to place with as minimal stuff as you own possible, paying the least amount of rent as you can afford that is still safe and sanitary. And then you'll find out where you belong. You're like, hey, I belong here. And then if you think you belong there for a certain amount of time, like you're going to be there for a long time, switch over your driver's license, switch over your residency, because in your state, I think you have an income tax. And let's say you go to a state that doesn't have an income tax. Well, you want to become a resident of that. You apply. You get a driver's license. I think that's all you have to do, matter of fact. You get a driver's license, and you got a lease, then you're a resident of that state. Move your bank accounts over, and then you stay there for a while, and you enjoy. And then maybe you're tired of it, you want to move, and you go to another place. But yeah, get that book, Reconnaissance, man. Okay. Good question. Sorry that you're in that position, but you're going to have to be strong, man, because if you're not strong, you're going to pay a lot more mentally, financially, psychologically. And if you really want, that mortgage sounds real suspicious. No money down. I got a buddy. It's going to cost money. Not a lot. I mean, it maybe, $50 to take a look at it. But if you got the details on the mortgage, and you're willing to pay $50, it's called $50. I'll ship that out to my mortgage buddy. She'll take a look at it and tell you what the skinny is on that. All right, questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Rick Travis, hey, remember, why do poor people keep having so many? Dude, I'd like to say because they're dumb, okay? But just because you're dumb, you have to be really stupid. There's something about just not having a vasectomy. I don't care if you're poor. I know poor people that are smart. I was poor. You got to be smart enough to know, like, hey, no, don't have a kid. But I don't know if it's because guys, they lose IQ points when they're having sex, which is true. Oh, come inside, girl. Girl's like, I'm going to keep it. Oh, oops. And fuck, let's simplify this very much, gentlemen. I'm speaking directly to the gentleman now. Have women proven that they're going to use the pill and go on birth control or abort their children when they can't afford one or shouldn't raise one? No, it's very obvious they're going to. Hell, a lot of them have kids just so they can get more government checks. I wonder why they're poor. Ooh. Remove them from this equation. Let's simplify this problem. Men, just make sure you're not shooting out no sperm. That's it. You cut my balls off? No, dipshits. Look up what a vasectomy is. You're still fully functional. You're just shooting blanks. That's it. And then you have a sperm deposit, or you could extract sperm. I talk to your urologist later on when you want to have a kid, maybe two, and then you go and you have kids. But not like when she's like, I'm a good Christian girl, but you can fuck me. Oops, I'm pregnant. I can't have an abortion because I'm Christian. Well, what about fornicating and premarital sex? Oh, you're a hypocrite. You choose. I see. Now we have an unwanted child in a broken home and poverty. If all men, guys, we could end poverty. If all men, it doesn't take all. It just takes the guys like, yeah, I don't want a baby mama, and I'm the type that would get a baby mama. You go, look, if you could go to the bar to get a drink, you could go to the urologist to get a vasectomy, all right? And your tab long term is going to be a lot less than your, the tab to get a vasectomy is going to be a lot less than your lifelong booze tab, and certainly cheaper than having kids. All right, there you go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.